My child, there is something I need you to hear today, and I need you to hear it with an open heart. Not because it is easy. Not because it is simple. But because something important is quietly unfolding behind the scenes of your future. And before this message ends, you may begin to understand why certain delays, certain questions, and certain strange feelings have followed you for so long. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Right now, somewhere in this world, your future partner is living a life that is very different from yours. They are walking through days you cannot see, facing moments you cannot witness, making choices that seem unrelated to you. Yet every step is moving them closer to a moment that has your name written on it. What makes this even more surprising is that there is someone close to them. Someone who knows more than they are saying. Someone who has noticed things long before anyone else did. And for a very long time, this person has remained silent. The silence was not accidental. The silence had a purpose. Because some truths cannot be revealed before the right moment arrives. Think about that carefully. How many times have you felt as if life was preparing something for you, yet every answer remained hidden? How many times have you wondered why certain doors closed when you wanted them open? How many times have you questioned whether the future you dream about is actually real? The answers may be closer than you realize. Because there is a connection forming behind the curtain of ordinary life. And someone close to your future partner may already sense it. They may have noticed changes. Unusual conversations. Unexpected emotions. A feeling that something important is approaching. At first they ignored it. Then they questioned it. Then they began paying attention. And what they discovered surprised even them. Don't skip. Because this is where things become interesting. The person I am talking about is not necessarily a friend. Not necessarily a relative. Not necessarily someone you would expect. But they are close enough to see things others cannot. Close enough to notice details that your future partner has not fully understood themselves. Have you ever watched a storm forming far away? At first the sky looks normal. Everything appears unchanged. Then little by little, the atmosphere begins to shift. The wind feels different. The air becomes heavier. And suddenly everyone realizes something powerful was approaching all along. That is exactly what this person has been sensing. A shift. A movement. A change. Not a dramatic event. Not a sudden explosion. But something deeper. Something that feels destined. And the most remarkable part? The truth has been getting harder and harder for them to keep hidden. For a long time they convinced themselves they were imagining things. For a long time they dismissed the signs. But the signs kept returning. Again. And again. And again. Until eventually they could no longer ignore them. My beloved child, there are moments in life when hidden pieces begin moving into place. Most people never notice these moments. They are too distracted. Too focused on immediate problems. Too busy looking at what is missing. But you were meant to hear this message because your story is entering one of those moments now. A season of preparation. A season where unseen things begin becoming visible. A season where answers slowly rise to the surface. And someone close to your future partner is standing near one of those answers. That person may not realize how important their role is. They may not understand why they feel compelled to observe. They may not understand why certain thoughts keep returning to them. Yet something continues pulling their attention toward the future. Toward a revelation. Toward a truth that cannot stay hidden forever. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because there is another detail you need to know. This person has witnessed struggles your future partner rarely talks about. They have seen disappointments. Moments of doubt. Moments when your future partner almost gave up on something important. Moments when they questioned whether meaningful connections were even possible. And every time those moments appeared, this observer learned something new. They learned that your future partner carries a depth most people never see. A sincerity hidden beneath the surface. A hope that refuses to disappear. Even when life becomes difficult. Even when circumstances seem confusing. And this observer has quietly collected these pieces like clues in a mystery. One clue became 2. 2 became 10. 10 became enough to form a picture. A picture they were never expecting to see. The picture of someone preparing for a chapter that has not yet begun. A chapter connected to you. Do not skip. Because the next phase of this story becomes even more unexpected. What if the thing being hidden is not a secret in the ordinary sense? What if it is an understanding? A realization? A discovery that arrived gradually rather than all at once? What if this person has slowly started recognizing patterns that point toward a future neither of you can fully see yet? That possibility changes everything. Because sometimes the greatest revelations are not shocking because they are loud. They are shocking because they suddenly make years of confusion make sense. And that moment may be approaching faster than anyone realizes. Even now, pieces are moving. Conversations are happening. Thoughts are forming. Awareness is growing. The silence is becoming more difficult to maintain. The truth is becoming stronger. And the closer it gets to the surface, the more impossible it becomes to ignore. My beloved child, before this part ends, I want you to remember something. Not every delay is a denial. Not every mystery is meant to remain a mystery. Not every hidden truth stays hidden forever. Sometimes life protects information until hearts are ready to receive it. Sometimes answers travel slowly because timing matters. And sometimes a revelation arrives precisely when it can create the greatest impact. The story unfolding around your future partner is moving toward such a moment. A moment when someone who has quietly observed from the sidelines may finally understand why they were paying attention all along. A moment when hidden pieces begin connecting. A moment when uncertainty begins transforming into clarity. And what happens next may surprise everyone involved. Stay till the end. Because this is only the beginning. Something huge is waiting for you. A quiet shift is happening right now, and almost nobody can see it. My beloved child. Before you continue listening, I need you to understand something. The story is moving faster than it appears. What seemed distant is getting closer. What seemed hidden is beginning to reveal itself. And someone close to your future partner is starting to realize that they can no longer ignore what they have been noticing. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. For a long time, this person watched from the background. They noticed little details. Small changes. Unexpected moments. Things that most people would never pay attention to. But every time they observed your future partner, one question kept returning to their mind. Why does it feel like something important is approaching? At first, they had no answer. Months passed. Time continued moving forward. Yet the feeling never disappeared. In fact, it became stronger. Much stronger. My beloved child, there are moments when life begins arranging pieces together before anyone realizes what is happening. And that is exactly what has been taking place. Your future partner may not even know it. The people around them may not fully understand it. But someone close to them has started connecting dots that were once scattered. And what they are beginning to understand is astonishing. Don't skip. Because this next part matters. The person close to your future partner has noticed a pattern. Every time your future partner talks about the future, something changes. Every time they think about where life is heading, something changes. Every time they imagine the next chapter, something changes. A spark appears. A sense of hope appears. A feeling that something meaningful is still ahead. And that observer has been quietly wondering why. Then one day, something unexpected happened. Not a dramatic event. Not a loud announcement. Just a simple realization. A realization that made everything suddenly look different. They started understanding that your future partner is preparing for something they have not yet experienced. Something that feels important. Something that feels destined. Something connected to a future that is still unfolding. And that realization has become impossible to forget. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because there is another detail that makes this story even more powerful. The person watching from the background has also noticed how much your future partner has grown. They have seen lessons learned. Challenges overcome. Moments that created wisdom. Moments that created patience. Moments that created strength. And slowly they began asking themselves a question. What is all this preparation for? Why did these experiences happen? Why did these lessons arrive? Why did this growth take place? The answer they keep returning to is the same answer again and again. Preparation. Preparation for a chapter that has not yet begun. Preparation for a connection that has not yet fully appeared. Preparation for a future that is moving closer every single day. My beloved child. Sometimes people think nothing is happening because they cannot see immediate results. But behind every meaningful chapter, there is a season of preparation. And according to everything this observer has noticed, that season is reaching its final pages. Don't skip. Because what comes next could change everything. The truth that has been quietly growing inside this observer is becoming stronger than ever. They are beginning to understand that certain meetings are not random. Certain timings are not accidental. Certain connections arrive exactly when they are meant to. And the closer they get to this understanding, the harder it becomes for them to stay silent. The signs have become too clear. The patterns have become too obvious. The feeling has become too strong. Something is approaching. Something meaningful. Something that has been building for far longer than anyone realizes. My beloved child. If you have recently felt that life is preparing you for something new. If you have felt that change is closer than it appears. If you have sensed that a new chapter is waiting just beyond the horizon. Pay attention. Because those feelings may not be appearing without reason. The story is moving. The pieces are aligning. The answers are getting closer. And the truth that someone close to your future partner has been quietly carrying may soon become impossible to keep hidden. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The closer the truth gets, the harder it becomes to keep hidden. My beloved child. There is a reason you were guided to this moment. There is a reason you are still listening. Because the story has now reached a turning point. And what someone close to your future partner has recently realized may be far more important than anyone expected. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. For a long time, this person believed they were simply observing ordinary events. Nothing unusual. Nothing extraordinary. Just everyday life. But then they started looking deeper. And suddenly, things that once seemed unrelated began connecting together. A conversation here. A decision there. A sudden change in direction. An unexpected feeling. A new sense of anticipation. One by one, these pieces started forming a picture. And the picture was impossible to ignore. My beloved child. What shocked this person was not what they saw. It was how clearly everything seemed to be leading toward the future. The more they observed your future partner, the more they noticed a quiet transformation taking place. Old doubts were fading. New hopes were appearing. Past disappointments were losing their power. And something brighter seemed to be taking their place. This change was subtle. Most people missed it completely. But not this observer. They noticed everything. Don't skip. Because this next revelation changes the entire story. At some point, this person began asking themselves a question they had never considered before. What if all of this is happening for a reason? What if every lesson had a purpose? What if every delay had meaning? What if every unexpected turn was preparing your future partner for something they had not yet experienced? The moment that question appeared, everything changed. Because suddenly, the pieces no longer looked random. They looked connected. They looked intentional. They looked as though they were leading somewhere important. And that realization has remained with them ever since. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. My beloved child. There is another detail that makes this even more remarkable. The closer this observer looked, the more they realize that your future partner seems different whenever they think about what lies ahead. There is a quiet optimism, a hidden excitement, a feeling that something meaningful is approaching, even if they cannot explain it, even if they do not fully understand it. The feeling is there, and it keeps growing stronger. This observer has noticed it repeatedly, again and again, which is why they can no longer dismiss what they are seeing. The signs have become too consistent. The pattern has become too clear. Something is unfolding. Something that has been quietly developing behind the scenes for much longer than anyone realizes. And now the pace is beginning to increase. My beloved child. Imagine standing at the edge of dawn. The sky is still dark. The sun has not fully appeared. Yet somehow you know morning is coming. You cannot stop it. You cannot delay it. You cannot change it. You simply feel it approaching. That is exactly how this observer feels now. They sense that a new chapter is getting closer. Closer than before. Closer than anyone expected. And with every passing day, that feeling becomes harder to ignore. Don't skip. Because the most surprising part is still ahead. The truth this person has been carrying is no longer just a possibility. It is becoming a conviction. A deep certainty that your future partner is moving toward a moment that will change the direction of their story. A moment that will make previous confusion finally make sense. A moment that will explain why certain things happened exactly the way they did. And when that moment arrives, many unanswered questions may suddenly find their answers. My beloved child. If you have felt restless lately, if you have felt as though something is shifting beneath the surface, if you have felt that life is preparing something important even though you cannot yet see it, pay attention to those feelings. Because sometimes the heart notices movement before the eyes can see it. Sometimes the soul senses change before the mind understands it. And according to everything this observer has discovered, change is no longer far away. It is approaching. Quietly. Steadily. Purposefully. The hidden pieces are moving into place. The missing answers are getting closer. And the truth someone close to your future partner has been carrying may soon reach a point where it can no longer remain unspoken. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The reason the truth stayed hidden was never what anyone expected. My beloved child. You have reached the final part of this message. And if you have listened this far, then what you are about to hear may connect every piece of this story. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. For so long, the person close to your future partner kept noticing signs. Small signs. Quiet signs. Signs that seemed meaningless on their own. But when they looked at all of them together, a surprising picture appeared. Not a picture of confusion. Not a picture of coincidence. But a picture of preparation. That was the secret. That was the truth. The truth was never being hidden out of fear. It was being protected by timing. Because some chapters cannot begin until every piece is ready. My beloved child. The observer slowly realized something extraordinary. Your future partner was not being delayed. They were being prepared. Every lesson had a purpose. Every challenge created wisdom. Every unexpected turn shaped their journey. And the same is true for you. The reason certain answers did not arrive sooner. The reason some doors remained closed. The reason some things felt unfinished. Was because the story was still being written. Don't skip. Because this is the revelation that changed everything for the observer. One day, they stopped focusing on what was missing. Instead, they focused on what was changing. And what they saw amazed them. They saw growth. They saw maturity. They saw hope becoming stronger. They saw someone becoming ready for a future they could not yet fully see. And suddenly it all made sense. The pieces fit together. The questions found direction. The mystery became clearer. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. My beloved child. There is a reason this message found you today. Because you may have been wondering whether anything meaningful is happening behind the scenes. You may have been wondering whether the waiting has purpose. You may have been wondering whether the future is truly moving towards something special. And this final message carries the answer. Yes. Movement is happening. Growth is happening. Preparation is happening. Even when you cannot see it. Even when you cannot measure it. Even when it feels quiet. The observer close to your future partner finally understood that the biggest changes were never happening on the surface. They were happening underneath. Slowly. Carefully. Perfectly. And now those changes are approaching the moment where they can finally be seen. My beloved child. Imagine watching the first light appear after a long night. The sunrise does not arrive all at once. It begins quietly. Almost invisibly. Then suddenly the entire horizon changes. That is what this season feels like. The horizon is changing. The next chapter is approaching. And the truth that once seemed hidden is becoming clearer with every passing day. The observer knows it. Your future partner feels it. And deep inside, you may already sense it too. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the greatest revelation is this. Nothing important has been lost. Nothing meaningful has been forgotten. The story is still moving forward. The pieces are still aligning. And what seemed like silence may have been preparation all along. My beloved child. As this message comes to an end, remember this. Not every answer arrives immediately. Not every truth appears at once. But what is meant to be revealed will eventually come into the light. And when it does, you may look back on this season and realize that every step, every lesson, and every moment of waiting was leading towards something far greater than you imagined. The truth is getting closer. The chapter is turning. The story is moving forward. And what comes next may become one of the most meaningful parts of the journey ahead. Something huge is waiting for you. And its time is drawing near.